Hey everyone, it's Tanner with Metal Bunny Toy Reviews, and today I wanted to bring you something that's actually pretty special to me. I went down to my local comic book store and I had nothing kind of in mind that I wanted, and I was looking through the action figure section and I come around a corner and they do buying and trading of action figures and comic books there, so the collectible gods were smiling on me. I come around the corner and someone had brought in their whole collection of mint on-card Marvel Legends from Toy Biz, and I may have peed a little bit. It was awesome. I've been really underwhelmed with Marvel Legends the past little while. They have upped their game since they rebooted the series. The current Odin line that's out right now, the Build-A-Figure line, has been good. I've liked it enough, but they just never captured what Toy Biz did when they first released these figures. The plastic quality went down, the detail quality went down. So to kind of get these ones in hand again, I was immediately brought back to what made them amazing in the first place. So there was lots of figures that I found there that I had a lot of interest in, stuff that I had at the time, but I've unfortunately sold or lost. Abomination was one of them. But I found one that I needed to have. I wanted it back in the day, but I couldn't get my hands on it and I could never find it. So I had to get him. He's one of my favorite characters, none other than Rhodey, War Machine. So anyways, I'm super excited. I don't want to spend too much time looking at it in the clamshell, so I'm going to bust him open. I'll be right back. So here he is out of the package and ready to rock and roll. We have War Machine, James Rhodes, Don Howard, Terrence Cheadle, and I love it. It's awesome. Even 10 years later, these Marvel Legends from Toy Biz just continue to impress. So fantastic sculpted detail, great paint applications. The only thing that I kind of liked where they were going with it, but it's not super successful, is the stand, because I'm holding it here, and if I start to let it go, yeah, not quite good. So I'm probably not going to use it on my shelf, but it's just kind of nice that they included it anyway, but not going to be successful. So here's a quick 360 of the figure. As you can see, great sculpted detail. Man, I just can't get over it. And capturing really nicely that classic War Machine look, much like the Iron Man, where it was like armor, right? Like it was armor, but it was also kind of felt more like fabric, or like functioned more like fabric. It was like malleable. And this captures that really nicely. So I could gush over the detail all day, but I just kind of want to start with some really simple things, like his chain gun blast here, and his repulsor blasts. As you can see with all three, it starts red at the bottom, and then as it gets closer and more yellow towards the tip, it gets more and more translucent, and just stuff like that attention, for me, I just go, oh, yes, please, thank you. So very impressed with these, like him very much, and it's the same thing for his feet as well. And of course, you also have his rocket cache here as well, and they did the same thing. It has all this nice billowy smoke down at the bottom, and then going into kind of the twisty rocket blast there, translucent yellow, until you get all the way up to the blue rocket itself. So very impressive. And then of course, here's James Rhodes himself, ready for action. So some of the other things that they can do here is you can kind of take him out piece by piece here. So I'll take off his rockets cache here. I'm not too keen that it comes out really easy. If it were to ever fall off a shelf, cats might get it, or it's going to roll under something. So just be aware of that. But really nice detail on this as well. All the way around, each little rocket has its own details in there. Just love it. And great little bit of articulation there as well. And then of course his chain gun, it's one of those things where for some people they probably go, oh, well, that's okay, I guess. But for me, the fact that you can do this. Huh? Yeah. Rotating that chain gun. Love it. Didn't need to put it in. They did. It's great. This is also removable. I would have liked it if you could take off this kind of hose, if you will, but it's molded in. It's not going anywhere. Bit of a bummer, but that's okay. It just kind of would have been cool if you could have had him pretty au naturel as well. Speaking of the back, it's just one of those things where separating Iron Man from War Machine, this giant turbine on his back that helps power the armor and helps power all of his weapons. Love that it's there. Love all the detail in there. It's kind of semi-hollow as well. Like, it's still solid plastic, but they've built it in so that it looks kind of hollow. So you can kind of imagine the fan in there as well. It's really, really nice. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown of articulation here. You have a kind of a ball joint here at the shoulder, swivel cut at the bicep, a double jointed elbow here. Now, see here that it's not working very well. I found this a lot as I've kind of been sitting here playing with this guy. Lots of fused joints because of the paint. And my biggest pet peeve with action figures is super duper loose joints, but a photo finish second is really, really tight. Don't want to mess with them, kind of scared in case it breaks joints. So, not so great, but got a nice swivel here, nice cut here at the forearm, and then of course there's a joint at the wrist and another one actually for his fingers, which is really nice. Now, you can probably see just right in here, and it probably a little bit better here on the back, there is an ab crunch, which is great. But unfortunately, because of the way his armor is put on, you can't use it at all. So a little bit of a tease there, unfortunately, that you can't use it, but that's okay. Because it looks good otherwise, and you use War Machine, he's going to go right forward anyway, right? So, and of course, you get a little bit of a waist, but that's as far as you can get on either side. And for legs, that's as far forward as you're going to get, and that's as far back as you're going to get. Now, there is kind of an in and out here as well, but with that those fused joints, yeah, I don't want to mess with it. But it is there, and also same with the thigh cut as well. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So, double jointed knee, rotation at the calf there, and of course at the foot, you get some great range of movement down here. You get his toes all the way forward, all the way back, and a little bit of even a pivot, a little bit of a pivot there as well, which is kind of nice. So that's pretty much everything for articulation. Now you're thinking, oh, but what about the head? And I'm like, well, with the head, it's a little bit that, it's a little bit that, which is nice, but there's no up and down. So as far as getting him into like kind of flight poses where he's going to need to be up like that, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Now, ta-da! He also has his faceplate here, which I was really hoping was going to kind of snap in. I wanted it to be harder plastic that would snap in. It doesn't function that way. It's super duper malleable, you see. So I'm not really in love with how it goes on, but once it's on, it looks good enough. And another thing that Toy Biz did that I can kind of let it slide a little bit on is you get the James Rhodes portrait, essentially. You get his face sculpt. So just another level of detail that deserves mentioning. So anyways, I really like this figure very, very much. And then, of course, that's not all. You also get Galactus's leg, if you were so inclined to go and collect the rest of Galactus. That's just another thing that they threw in there. Oh, but wait, that's not the only thing that they have there. They also have this super cool cover art that they had from back in the day as well with War Machine, kind of the same look that they've emulated with this figure. So just the amount of stuff that you get with the Toy Biz figures continues to amaze. So anyway, what I want to do real quick now is do just a quick size comparison as well, just so you can kind of see how he stacks up. Now, this figure is kind of in the 6-inch scale range, so I'm sure you kind of know basically what to expect from him. But just to kind of give a quick rundown, here he is next to the Play Arts Kai DC Variant Series Green Lantern. Favorite superhero of mine of all time here, so I just felt I wanted him to stack up to one of my favorite Marvel characters. Here he is next to Sideshow Collectibles Joker figure, so about kind of a 1/6 scale, 12-inch figure here. Here he is next to the Loyal Subjects vinyl 8-inch Shockwave. This is another series that I've been really big into lately. The more vinyl, the better. That's been in my house also. It kind of, I don't know, it smells gross and good at the same time. Speaking of vinyl smelling gross and good at the same time, the last but not least, is my X Plus 30 centimeter Godzilla from Godzilla Tokyo SOS. So he towers above him. Screonk, no big deal. Anyway, so that's it for my review of the Marvel Legends War Machine. If I were to give it kind of a numerical value, I'd probably say about an 8 out of 10. Great quality plastic. It feels good and heavy in your hand. And of course, all those details that Toy Biz was known for this line when they first released them is still very much present. I'm just a little disappointed in the stand and of course in all these fused joints as well. But all in all, great, happy to have it, and thanks so much for watching.